So Nyasha, tell
No.
me about yourself. How did you get involved in programming and what are you up to these days?
Oh, okay. So I first heard about programming when I was on mission
Hmm.
in Kenya. So I had a friend. He was very new on mission. In fact, he
Hmm.
was doing his MTC in our apartment.
Okay.
And back then, we were the mission technology specialists running Facebook ads.
Hmm.
So he would see us grind so hard, try to send out leads. There was no
Uh,
like automation. He
what
wished,
was this during COVID? Were you stuck inside?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
So
you're
this was, I think, mid 2021. Yeah,
okay.
mid 2021. Yes. So he saw us every day doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I even asked him, I was like, hey, Elder, don't you think there's a better way of doing this?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
kind of tired. And then I was like, yeah, there is. You have to learn programming and so on. So
Hmm.
like, wait, what is programming?
Yeah.
That's when I had an interest. So he told me like programming is like when you write software, like the app that you're actually using, like the
Uh-huh.
Facebook app and everything, all those applications you're using.
Hmm.
I made by out of code. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, okay. So you mean I can actually do that? And they was like, yeah, you just have to keep commit to it. And then I was
Hmm.
like, all right. So anyway, fast forward in
Yeah.
2022, I get home from my mission,
Hmm.
and initially I wanted to do something with agriculture, but then
Hmm.
I realized on mission that while on mission that technology can do better things for
Hmm.
people
And
at a large scale.
did you have an agricultural background or did you just see a need for it?
Oh, okay. So in high school, we pretty much here in Zimbabwe, most kids are taught agriculture in high school.
Okay.
Yes. So for me, it got into a passion. And my dad also owns a piece of land, like in one of the locations here in Zimbabwe. So I would often go to his place, to his farm, see what he's
Hmm.
doing.
Hmm.
But I never liked it, like practically, until I
Yeah.
was much older because it was more manual. So like,
Hmm.
hey, going to the farm again. But anyways, now in 2022, I just got home from my mission. I didn't have a laptop back then. The
Hmm.
only thing I had was a small phone, I think similar to this.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
then I was like, I need to write code. How do I get started? I don't have a
Yeah.
job and all that. And then I went on YouTube and then I looked for videos on how to do coding on a phone.
Hmm.
So I started learning Python, but the
Yep.
process was kind of hard, trying to run code, let it compile on a small phone with small RAM.
Yeah.
And then about after about a year, I finally got a laptop of mine. I was like, wait,
Okay.
finally, let me
Yeah.
get this right. So this is now early 2023. Yeah,
23.
early 2023. And
Okay.
then I now have a laptop, but now I also have a job.
Hmm.
But the idea is to do something with programming. So then I took up a job at one of the local companies here. It's in hardware for farming inputs.
Yeah. Hmm.
So my job was to, I mean, as I was a cashier,
Okay.
um,
Hmm. Yeah.
basically sitting on a desktop all day, receiving cash, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
But then one thing kept recurring. Customers when they're paying
Yeah.
for for products, they would then ask me, so how do I use this chemical? How do I plant these seeds?
Okay. Interesting.
And in my mind, I'm like, I thought you were told by the agronomist when you bought these things, when he gave you
Uh,
these things. And then almost every day I would get those questions. And then that's how I even learned how to how certain seeds are grown, how they perform and so on. And then
hmm.
anyway, a year later now, this is 2024.
Hmm.
In fact, during the process, I was doing BYU pathway, but I was
Hmm.
taking like few credits so
And
that I,
were you doing software? Were you doing programming courses or what were you studying with
yeah,
Pathway?
with BYU pathway, I took software development.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like from the very beginning. That's when I was actually formally introduced to software,
Okay.
Yeah. So now in 2020, I think it's early 2020, late 2023. That's
Hmm.
when I was like, you know what? I need to quit my job. It was tough. It
Uh-huh.
was tough. I had two passions to be in agriculture, but not actually do something with agriculture like hard work, but to be
Hmm.
involved in some way. And
Hmm.
then, but then I didn't know how to write any Abo by then. back
Mhm.
then. So it kept burning. Like, I wish I could just write an app so that I could
Yeah.
actually do something about it. So
Mhm.
then anyway, I took many courses, and then it finally clicked when I think it's full stack development class. They taught
Mhm.
us how to like create a fully functional full stack web application. And then
Mhm.
I'm like, wait, so I can actually do this.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, I know, you know what? I have time. Let me just get in. So I started writing full stack websites with a database and so on. The process was
Mhm.
tough. You know, like
Mhm.
with remote education,
Mhm.
there's limited mentorship or one-to-one interaction with colleagues.
Yeah.
So it was
We've
a lot
also
of,
learned, I
Mhm.
think just talking to you, I've learned also that some of the services, like when I was doing a Zoom call with you previously, we were talking about using Stripe for payments. But in Zimbabwe,
Mhm.
that it's hard to use Stripe, I think. So you have to,
Yeah, it's
some of the things they
yeah,
teach you are going to be different a little bit. Right?
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to use. In fact, it's not doable right now
Yeah.
to integrate Stripe unless you have somebody maybe in a country where Stripe is
Yeah. But there are
available.
alternatives. It's just you have to learn the alternatives, essentially.
Yeah, there are alternatives. They're not so great, but
Yeah.
there are alternatives. But anyway, so that's how I was talking about like how I learned about full stack development.
Mhm.
And then from that term, I think it was May 2024 now, that's when I was like, wait, I can actually make apps. And then the idea didn't start as a fully formed like idea, like I need to write code that serves farmers. It was
Mhm.
just like I need to do something. And then along the way, I learned about APIs, how they interact.
Yeah.
Then I was like, wait, I think an agricultural app can need this API. We need this API. And I think there's need for a database. So it was now like putting pieces together gradually. And
Hmm.
then now, by the way, I'm on track to graduate this. I'm supposed to graduate this next week, but
Oh, good for
unfortunately
you.
there's one credit
Oh,
missing.
okay. Okay.
So it's has to be next first term of next term.
Okay.
I mean the first week of I think is it January? Yeah, January.
Yeah.
That's when I will likely
Okay. Well,
graduate.
congratulations. That's soon. So.
Yeah, thank you, David. But generally, that's how I got into software, and that's how I learned like Python, JavaScript, C Sharp, um, and so on. But I then fell in love with Python and JavaScript
Hmm.
because initially I started with Python, so I just fell in love with it, and
That's great.
the fact that you can automate a lot of things with Python, I like, you know what? I think this
Hmm.
is it. So yeah, that's how I have. But I can say 95% of my education in software is through BOA pathway
Hmm.
because it provided like structure,
Uh-huh.
um, learning concepts sequentially in a
Mhm.
manner that you will know how to put those pieces together.
Right. Yeah, it's great that on YouTube you can teach yourself just about everything, but putting together a full course of study is actually really hard to do, right?
Yeah. And also like with the BYU pathway, like we were being taught, in fact, we're still being taught by like professors who
Uh-huh.
are actually working.
Yeah.
I remember one of my last professors was instructor is working at Nike right now, Nike. So
That's
I like
cool.
wait. So yeah, with BYU pathway, like I really loved it because it gave me ground, look,
Hmm. Hmm.
to know like the reason why I'm writing this line of code. With
Yeah.
YouTube, yes, we can learn that, but with BYU
Mhm.
pathway and those wonderful instructors, they kind of empowered me to know like this is how we write clean code, this is how things are done, and this is why it is done, and so
Hmm.
on. So yeah, pretty much that's how I've learned software up to now.
That's great. And people might not know. So you did create an agriculture app also, which is live online, right?
Yes, yes, I did. I did.
Do you happen to have it? Can you share it? We don't have to
Yeah,
look at it, but if it's there,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
It's
that'd be
it's,
great
right,
to see.
it's live right now. Just still,
Yeah,
ideas never end, so still polishing
sure.
and run into errors. So let me share right now.
Yeah, I had one of our student programmers here was just asking me yesterday, how do I know when my app is done? It's like, okay, well,
Yeah,
it's never really done. Like there are always some things you can change.
yeah. For me, like it's never really done for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the
Oh,
app.
there it is. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, so finally I came up with something that's actually tangible.
Yeah.
And on this, I'll send you the link maybe. You can actually download this web app on
Okay.
your
Yeah,
phone.
I'll add it in the post.
It is more like a widget that you can actually install on your phone and then you can interact with.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so the app is FarmerFlow AI. You know, with the rise of AI, I realized that um, farmers can have more access to information than to wait for an agriculture extension officer to show up maybe a week later.
Hmm.
So the idea with FarmerFlow is to integrate all the information that a farmer will ever need to run farming as a business successfully.
That's great.
So I've integrated a few APIs for that. Um, okay, maybe let me just show you right now.
Okay,
So
that's great.
this is a
I
full
want,
stack next. Uh-huh.
yeah, I wanted people to see this because I know you've created, I've seen other websites you've done. So you're an entrepreneur, you've done websites for local businesses too, and they look
Yes.
great. But I just it's really impressive. So like you were saying, 2 years ago, you were very new to programming, and yet here you are,
Yeah.
and this is a really useful working app. So yeah, I'd love to see more of it.
Yeah, sure. So this is the landing page. When everyone's logs in, I
Mhm.
mean, visits the page, this is what they're gonna see, right? Um, and then you can go to solutions page, resources, and so on. But now to get started, we just have to get started right now.
Okay.
So maybe I can talk about maybe the tech stack. I wouldn't mind. So I
Yes.
integrated several um, already I mean existing services. I didn't have to worry about authentication in some way. So I use Click, as you can see here. It's a they're a great provider.
Okay, great.
Click authentication. If you can go there later, maybe. So Click authentication. So here a user can log in with their email, or
Hmm.
yeah, they just go straight up with their Gmail. Since I'm already signed in, I'll just continue with Google. And from here, you'll be taken to the dashboard. But before the dashboard, there's onboarding process. Just a sec. So this is just two-factor authentication. You know, with farms, um, some information is kind of sensitive. You know,
Sure.
so there's also some
Yeah.
authentication in two-factor authentication, so that
Hmm.
only authorized people can at least have access to the information. So you are taken to this onboarding page. So this is still in production.
Hmm.
Um, there's more to add, more features to add, so that
Sure.
the app does the heavy lifting for the farmer instead of actually manually, I mean, recording information before they can
Hmm.
actually start using it. So from here, it's either you can set location right here, all right? But you can also use auto detect.
Okay.
So it's not everyone who knows like the coordinates of where they are,
Hmm.
especially here in Africa. I've been thinking about that. So I was like, wait, let me just implement this auto detect so they get the AI, I mean the app can just know where the farm is or wherever you want to set your farm at.
Yeah.
So auto detect, uh, so this is going to pick my current location, which is here,
Great.
Harare, Zimbabwe, right here. This is where I am right now. And then when I click confirm, I'm just gonna, okay, I'm here on the
Yeah.
dashboard. Okay,
Perfect.
so this is the app. This is the like the major entry point of the app.
Hmm.
And you have the dashboard. You can at least have a snapshot of what's going on in your farm, like how many crops. If you're a big farmer, you'll probably have multiple fields with different crops.
So
So
this is like project management functionality, which makes a lot of sense, right?
exactly, yes. Suppose I've seen that farming is more like project management.
Yes. Mhm.
You don't just get results instant, it's incremental. As you
Mhm.
plant, before you plant, you have to gather inputs and so on.
And if a farmer doesn't use your app, how do they do this? Are they just remembering, or do they have notebooks, or what would they do?
So mainly, speaking of experience, many people just write down or they just know from
Yeah.
of it. Like most farmers here, uh, I mean, small scale farmers here, they kind of know what they need. Like how
Yeah.
many bags of fertilizer do they need?
Mhm.
What kind of seed do they need? So they don't have like to write down,
Mhm.
but it's not scalable, you know.
Yeah.
In
And
the
they can't
sense
hand it
that,
off to someone and yeah.
yeah, and you cannot actually track how much you bought how much inputs you bought last time,
Mm-hmm.
and like what was the cost of the fertilizer last time. I know fertilizer doesn't change often, but the idea is to track everything so that at the end of the
Yep.
day, you know how much you put in and your return on investment at the
Yep.
end of it.
And
Okay.
then you could optimize it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can optimize it. Yeah, that's right. So from here you see these small little cards that will tell you what you have. So this is the information that is in the app right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have quick actions. You can click on any, it will take you to the whatever. So yeah, I'm just left with a few things
Mm-hmm.
to integrate weather crop recommendations based on. Remember when you onboarded, when I onboarded, I chose my location, right?
Right.
So I've noticed that farming is not the same in every location. There are
Yep.
certain crops that thrive in certain locations. There are some that don't,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the idea with crop recommendations is that based on your chosen location, you're going to get a recommended set of crops that you can potentially grow and actually harvest and
Mm-hmm.
at least get better results. And
I agree.
then still back on the dashboard, just a second. So this is what you see, and then you can see also weather, because farming and weather they go together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can also see like the current weather of the farm, and in the near future, I think next week, this this information is going to be more valuable in the sense that I just don't want to show people weather. I want to show them what that weather will do to their farm
What it
or to
means.
their
Yeah.
crop. Yeah, what action they can take out of it, right? If it's 30 degrees Celsius, that means there has to be a lot of irrigation in the,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then you can also have tasks and so
Mm-hmm.
on. So maybe before I go, so this app is going to serve two aspects of farming, that is crop and animal production for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you're gonna have crops and you're gonna have animals for now. So when you go to animal section,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to have several entries of I mean
Different groups.
animals. Let's say you have pigs, you have what do you call it? You have
Pigs.
turkeys, you have chickens, you have so many at your farm. You just want to know how many of those are at your farm.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't know what you have on the farm, you might just be happy knowing that you have something, but in real life you're losing, you know. So this is just to help you track, and in the future you will have personalized information on
Okay.
how to take care of those animals. So I'll just go with the page A for now. So I think this is chicken. Yeah, so this chicken, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's take it out. It should show you like some metrics based on that on those chickens.
Okay.
For example, if chickens, if they are egg laying chickens,
Mm-hmm.
then you should at least know how much they are producing per day and so on, right?
Okay.
So
So
basically
you
that's
would,
mhm.
yeah, and you would daily enter that on the right. So
Yeah, you
if you were
can
filling out the
actually,
data here, you could have a long history of maybe you could spot
yes.
trends in egg production. Yeah.
Yes, you can also put strength. Because with chickens, for instance, I learned that you, I mean, there are certain months where chickens lay eggs, like where there's like maximum production,
Right.
where as in chickens lay eggs, and then there are months when the production is so low.
Mm-hmm.
So based on that, you will know like, should I actually go with chickens this month or not? You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
based on your history that is in the app.
Yep. Okay.
So you can pretty much record, let me just go back real quick. So choose many species here, chicken, let
Mm-hmm.
me go for maybe pig. Then you can give it a group, pig, maybe group A,
Okay.
group A, and then quantity, you're gonna say maybe you have 1,000 pigs, and then maybe the project is starting today, and then you can put notes. So maybe first, maybe purchased, any note you could think of so that you remember any information related to this new batch of pigs
Mm.
purchased on, I mean, at neighbor's farm, maybe. Maybe you want to know like where you bought them, neighbors,
Yeah.
um, farm. And then now you see you have pig A recorded, and then when you open it, we're going to record several activities related to those pigs, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much for for animal section for now.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Now here's like the brain of the app. Uh, yeah, I'm hitting a wall here. I'm trying to integrate several things, as I'm learning.
Yeah.
Um, and the times I hit a wall where I'm like, how am I supposed to put pieces together? So the
Mm-hmm.
idea with the AI companion section or page of the app is to give you a high level overview
Mm-hmm.
of what's happening at your farm.
Yeah.
So the AI models are going to compute and throw in some recommendations, optimization tips about your farm. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of it, you know what to call it. You know, like how to save resources and what crops to grow,
Okay.
what animals to buy, where to sell, who to sell to, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, there will be also like financial analysis, how much you are spending on the farm. You can also have like a forecast, projections.
Yeah.
Like with farming, it's controlled, from what I've read, is farming
Mm-hmm.
is controlled by two things, demand and supply.
Sure.
So the AI model here is gonna help you at least. It may
Mm-hmm.
not be perfect for it as I start, but in the end, we want the model to at least give farmer valuable information
Yeah.
that they can right away execute. And this is to save them time and resources as in consulting someone else who could
Mm-hmm.
charge them something for that hour and they're gone. But with
Yeah.
once we have the app, we can have the information 24/7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wherever you are, you can have it on your phone and on the web, of course. So that's the idea with the AI companion. And
That's great.
then,
Love it. Hey, could people subscribe right now? Is it live?
yes, they can subscribe right now. Yes, they
Okay.
can.
I'll have the link on there. Okay, great.
Okay. Because I want to build this with people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an expert in farming,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
just have a passion for farming.
Yeah.
So if I can have people subscribe, give me feedback, and we build it together. Because in the end, I was reading an article, I think 3 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
about so basically the article is about human population by the year 2050.
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying it is expected to be at 9 billion,
Yeah, that's right.
right? And right now it's at 7,
Mm-hmm.
meaning there's gonna be a 2 billion increase. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like thinking, and in the article they were saying, okay, so what is the impact of this increase
Mm-hmm.
on agriculture, on food supply?
Mm-hmm.
And it just got to me to understand that if farming is not improved right now,
Mm-hmm.
in one way or another, then by 2050, some families out there, they're going to run out of food. They're going to run out of, I mean, they're going to be food shortage.
Mm-hmm.
And, food shortage, it's not like people throw away food. Food shortage, from what I've observed, is it starts from the farm. For example, you plant a hectare, but you have limited information.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of getting maybe 10 tons of whatever crop you had grown, you get 2 tons. So you have lost 8 tons already. And if there were information to help you along the way, those
Mm-hmm.
8 tons of whatever crop it was would have fed a lot of people. So the idea is to at least provide useful information to people and farmers.
Yeah, there's one
Okay.
technology that can help work on that huge problem. And I've got to think Africa probably has currently stronger population growth than other areas of the world. It's probably a more pronounced effect there between now and 2050.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then the other features of the app, of course, there's field you're able. This is still in production.
Mhm.
Um, I'm going to integrate Google Earth so that at least you can have a 3D view of your farm.
So you can chart it out. Yeah.
Yeah. so that you can actually say, oh, these are my crops, and maybe some 20 kilometers away. You don't have to be on the ground to at least see what's happening on the ground.
Hmm.
Um, and then there's weather. This is, of course, just to help you know, like first, what's the information? I mean, not the information is like just to give information to a farmer that maybe the next week, here's how weather is going to impact your crops.
Got it.
If it
Okay.
means that they have to spray I think I heard there's some defrosting chemical
Okay.
that farmers spray so that their crops are not affected or something like
Okay.
that.
Interesting.
But yeah, but generally this is it, and then you can have a focus of the weather
That's
and
good.
how it affects your farm, you know.
That's great. And it'll be interesting to see who uses it. Like this is obviously tailored to solo farmers, which is, I think, a great market to go after. But all the features someone could use if they were just doing a casual backyard garden or something too, if they just wanted to optimize growing their vegetables or whatever.
So for that, I'm not so sure, you know, this is like, you know,
Hmm.
as a solo developer, it's kind of hard sometimes to put things together and solve problems for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think maybe in the near future, there will
Hmm.
be an option where someone with a backyard garden can actually use the same app. I think
Hmm.
for now they can still use it,
Hmm.
because with the backyard farm, it's mainly scanning for diseases, just to know like the current status of the crop, so that
Hmm.
they can at least diagnose and see what's needed, what's missing, and so on. But
Hmm.
I think maybe in the very near future, I can integrate that so that everyone at least they can have something, you know.
Okay. Well, that's great. That looks pretty great. And thanks for giving us the demo, Nyasha. So
Mhm.
so you're doing some great software development, and this is probably the first of many projects, I'm guessing. But I'd also like to talk about, so you've been a leader of the tech group for Pathways in Africa and Southeast Asia, and that's how you connected with me on LinkedIn, which you do a great job
Yes.
on LinkedIn. That's so good. And then speaking to your group was really fun. Can you tell us about the group? What's the purpose and what have you done there?
Oh, okay. So the purpose of the group is to connect students
Hmm.
with professionals.
Hmm.
The idea is that we don't want um, students to be surprised when they get into the workforce environment to see,
Hmm.
oh, so this is how things are done in the software industry, you know?
Hmm.
So with the BYU Pathway Tech Society, it is to at least invite someone who's already in the field. And then
Hmm.
that way they can tell us what they do, how they do it.
Hmm.
If it is correct, of course, this for Tech Society, right? So it is to share, if they can share insights into what trends are they seeing, so that at least students can pivot, you know,
Hmm.
and at least know that they're doing software, but they have to lean towards this so that
Hmm.
they remain relevant.
Yeah.
So what I've done with so far is I've tried to reach out to people, you yourself included.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
primarily what I do. I reach out to
Okay.
people, ask them for at least 1 hour
Hmm.
of their time, and then they can share with us any information that they have, and that
Hmm.
way. So basically, it is just to have more information. You know, they say the more information you have, the better decisions you make,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
So for my colleagues,
Hmm.
and I know there's Kindness for Kima, who is my colleague also. The two of us run that tech society, and we report to someone else.
Hmm.
So him and I are just focused on helping our colleagues meet people that they would otherwise not meet.
And probably about how many students are in the group?
So right now there's 3,000.
Wow.
Yeah, there's 3,000 right now. There's more
Hmm.
that of course join when they are given a link to join. But the idea is to help at least all BYU pathway students in Tech Society at least
Hmm.
have access to current trends.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed with software, you spend spend most of their time on a laptop or a desktop,
Hmm.
and their exposure is so limited because they're trying to fix some things, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the webinar, at least they can have at least 1 hour of their month, meet someone who can share information that they can benefit from.
That's good. That's great. And because of your group, I've connected with a few other members on LinkedIn who have reached out.
Mhm.
I don't think you'll know this, but so I license technologies to BYU student startups a lot. And I posted a technology a couple weeks ago on LinkedIn, well, a month ago on LinkedIn, and a student, a Pathways graduate in Nigeria reached out and said, well, could I license it? And so we actually licensed the technology to him. I don't know if he's a member of your group or not, but
I don't know.
I don't have any formal connection with Pathways, so it was just fun that he reached out like that. So
Wow, wow. That's so great. That's so great. Yeah. So that's pretty much what we do at BYU Pathway Tech Society. The idea is to, it's kind of tricky because we are also students, so we don't know
yeah,
much. We don't know
good
much.
money.
We're learning through trial and error. Oh, this works, this doesn't work.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, we just want everyone to succeed.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
with that in mind, my colleague and I have an app. I think I'll show you the link soon after the video. So we have an app that is meant for everyone
Okay.
to I mean to have career coaching. Like they don't have to reach out to anyone if they don't want to. They can just have like integrated system where they get information and they can succeed. So yeah, there's been sleepless nights, many of them.
Yeah.
So we'll share that very soon. I think probably next week it should be live. And
Okay. Yeah, if you're willing
yeah,
to share it, that would be great. So,
yeah,
and
we'll share it.
I
Mhm.
know we're about out of time here, Nyasha, but you're doing great things. Thanks for connecting. I'm so glad you reached out and for giving us kind of an overview here. And what do you see as going forward? What's your vision? What needs to happen, or what would you like to happen in the future for tech development where you are?
Okay. I will speak for like my goals at least. I
Hmm.
want at least it's not feasible for now, but at least to have every family
Hmm.
here in Africa, at least if they can have food,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
And food, and that's going to happen when farmers have information, on
Hmm.
how to do it. And that way, when people have food, there's less contention in families. I've been a missionary.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
this around.
Yeah.
You reach out to families, they don't have anything to eat, and it's just so tense for them to talk to you, to missionaries or something. So at least if they can be food production at this
Mhm.
max across Africa and the globe, at least poverty in that way will be alleviated. And I think that would be something I'll be so proud of, knowing that I at least provide information to some farmers out there and they ship it out. Because I've noticed like the backbone of many economies here in Africa, it's agriculture.
Yeah.
But apparently, not so many young people are into farming.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because if for instance, here in Zimbabwe, people who are really into farming are, let's say, maybe in their 40s going
Hmm.
onwards. The
Hmm.
most guys like us were just in the city.
Yeah.
We don't want to go to the farms. And
Yeah.
yet, farming is what's driving the economy. It doesn't make sense.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if at least I can be a force for good where I inspire my people of my generation to do something about it. And
Hmm.
then our collective effort will do at least something for people and they can benefit from it.
Okay.
And
Fantastic.
then for the society, I think I just want to see many of my students flourish in their careers. Um, with technology, it's so great that you can actually get a job remotely
Mhm.
and you can still provide for your family and so on. So the idea with tech society is it's indirect that they're going to be helped, but if they can learn skills and get
Mhm.
information through the webinars we've hosted
Mhm.
and they act on those things, I think eventually they will succeed if they do all they could. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
those are the some of the goals that I have right now.
It's fantastic. So love to hear it. And if people want to, so if someone with software experience, like an executive or something, sees this video and wants to connect with you, I think LinkedIn's the best way, right?
Yeah, LinkedIn or the email that you have. Perfect.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thanks, Nyasha. This has been fantastic. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Deb. We'll talk soon.
Yep, we'll do. Thanks.